Well, hello everyone, this is Luke with Luke Plays to Earn. Thank you guys for being here. Hola, kamusta? I hope you guys are doing well. Namaste, moin. And I'm excited to be here, even though the market is down for a lot of things. This is going to be another Market Monday where we walk through where the market is at in crypto, because it's all affecting everything. Where the Splinterlands market is, other crypto gaming, NFT gaming, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be doing a quick brief overview. So when I did this last week, some of you guys watched it and couldn't watch it live, and you were like, hey, this is cool, but it was, I think, something like a 2-hour stream, and for those that wanted to watch afterwards, it didn't really make much sense to try to go through the whole thing. So I'm switching it up, trying something different this week. What I want to do is just keep this a brief. I'm going to give you guys 30 minutes roughly of my thoughts. Hopefully it will be done by then, and then I'll save about 30 minutes for Q&A to the chat. So it feels like I'm ignoring you in the chat. Just hold on a little bit. I do appreciate that you're here, but for those who are watching the replay, I want it to feel a little bit like a video so they don't have to scroll through 2 hours of chatting. We can just have this conversation about where the market is, and then I'll answer your guys' questions, whether it's about crypto, whether it's about Splinterlands, or different games that we want to talk about. So let's jump into it. You probably saw on Sunday I made a video about a potential play to earn crash. I don't know if we're going to see it or not, but I think where we're at in the market right now is that we need to be a little more cautious. Now, of course, I'm focusing on the krill investors, the small investors who want to try to play to earn, whether that's through free, real cheap, getting into games at a low cost. We're the people that don't have, $10,000 to just dump into a game so that we can buy 3 NFTs. We're the small little investors trying to survive in this whale world. But I think it's important to do these market updates with you guys. Not that I'm an expert. Please don't take everything I say as a 100% guarantee, or I'm the smartest person. I know a little bit about technical analysis. I know some about crypto markets and some about Splinterlands and all that, but there's of course people out there with more knowledge than me. But I think this is important to do together, because we need to understand, if we're trying to play to earn, we need to understand where the market is so that we know when it's time to be a little bit more safe, when it's time to be a little bit more risky, and when we should be buying versus just hodling, versus maybe even selling some assets, so that we don't lose all this value that we've been grinding out. And so that's what I want to bring to you guys in these Market Mondays, is hopefully an idea and plan and strategy that I can share with you guys, and that hopefully through that, we can have an idea of how to move forward and keep building up our assets for years to come, so that one day we might be a whale ourselves. So does that sound good? If that sounds good, say sounds good in the chat, and let's jump into it. So one of the things, if you're new to play to earn gaming, one of the things that you need to understand that I didn't understand for a long time is that really Bitcoin and ETH determine a lot of the market. Things are often quite linked to that. Bitcoin for the whole crypto market, ETH usually shows the strength of how the altcoins are doing in the ecosystem, which includes play to earn gaming. And not that everything is 100% directly correlated, but across the whole spectrum of play to earn games, we've been seeing a tank of our money in value. We've seen all of our favorite gaming tokens that we've been trying to earn go way down in value. We've seen dark energy crystals, for me, my favorite game, Splinterlands, drop, what is this, like 75-80% now. And it's interesting that we'll cover DEC, SPS, and other gaming tokens, but you can see a lot of the same trend in Splinterlands and other gaming tokens, is that around November 15th, you can even say, the market started going down with Bitcoin. And really, that's when a lot of our gaming tokens also lost a lot of steam and started dipping. So a lot of people are like, oh, is it Splinterlands? Is Splinterlands dying? Is Splinterlands, because of Chaos Legion, people are not wanting to buy, DEC and SPS. They want to just buy cards. There's some of that, but honestly, I think a lot of it is just Bitcoin has dropped over 25,000K. And so the entire market is down, no matter where you're looking at. So what does this mean going ahead? Well, it's looking pretty bearish here. I don't know if you guys know about technical analysis. What I like to look at is this yellow line is my 50 moving average. This blue line is my 200 moving average. This red is the 20 moving average, and these green lines are the Bollinger Bands, which measures volatility. And you can kind of see that we've had a huge dump off, as I said last week, for the last 2 months. Even from last week, we were, let's see, what was last week? I think Jan 3rd. Even from there, I was saying, hey, it's looking pretty bearish. We're under the 200 MA. If you look on social media, a lot of people are saying we're headed towards a death cross, which doesn't sound good. It's not good. It's when the 50 moving average goes back under the 200 moving average, which usually smells for a bear market. Now, the one thing is for Bitcoin, we're still hovering right around that 42,000 support line. And what this means is that potentially, if we can hold for a moment and have a chance to push back up for the bulls, maybe there's a chance that we can try back to 50K, try to regain that, and try to regain this 200 moving average and go from there. But I can't say it's looking pretty. We're mostly just posting in candle charts. It's called dojis, which are just like more of a market stall out, which when the market is trending down, usually posting little candles like this that are very long wicks and very low amount of bodies, usually just stalling out before we go down further. Although again, in crypto, you can never predict anything. The whole point of technical analysis and trying to read the market is so that you have an idea, you have a hunch. Maybe it's a 60-40, I think it's going to go this way, but I have a plan if it goes the other way. Or maybe a 70-30, like I'm feeling pretty confident in it, but it's not for sure. So there is, even though there is a huge dump off and a breakdown in Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe this could be a shakeout by whales and institutions to scare off a lot of the new retail that got in September. Maybe they're trying to shake out, earn up some more coins, and then we'll head back up here from this 42,000 support. Someone that I like to follow is Big Cheds. I've learned a lot from Big Cheds. I'm not going to comment on his personality, but I don't follow this guy to be his friend. I follow him because I feel like he's one of the most honest as far as he just tells it like it is, just uses his TA. He doesn't try to hype things. He doesn't try to, mess around. He just really tells it like he sees it. And that's what I respect about him. One of the things he said, he's been doing this a lot longer than I have, is that Bitcoin needs to hold this 42.5 that we just got. Unfortunately, you can see that we didn't really hold that. And so that makes me think we could be seeing a longer bear market here for a bit. But again, as I said in that Sunday video of why I'm excited for this period, if things keep going down, this is a great time if you have even just a little bit of funds to start dollar cost averaging, buying into projects. And we'll talk about these projects that you can see are all in the red. If you've wanting to get into them and you haven't been able to because you're a small krill, then this is potentially our opportunity. Who knows how long this bear cycle will go for? Is it a month? Is it 2 months? Is it for the whole year? Who knows? Or is it just a week from now? So this is a great time for us as small investors to start buying up. And I'll see Lackey Lukey. Thank you for the tip there. As I said, if you're just coming into the stream now, I'm going to be focusing on what I have to say for about 30 minutes, and then we'll get to a Q&A time with the chat so that those who are watching the replay can get to the video part and the things I want to say first, and then we can go straight to the chat then. So that's Bitcoin, not looking great. Ethereum, honestly, even looking worse. You can see, again, trading under the 50, the 20, and the 200 MA. You usually don't see trading outside of the Bollinger Bands. It's very rare to see much action outside of the Bollinger Bands, which again is these green lines, which measure how much volatility is there in the market, how big of moves are happening each day. Well, if we're on the daily chart. And you can see we come even lower, breaking down from here, from this support of what typically is the 3,400. We just shot straight through, which makes me even more nervous for altcoins. That's going to affect things. Any altcoin, it could be DOT, it could be BNB, it could be SPS, Gods Unchained token, it doesn't matter. It doesn't spell good for these altcoins, at least in the short term. You can also look at the dominance. Bitcoin dominance is going back up. That's what usually happens. People start putting their money from altcoins to Bitcoins once the market is trending down. because Bitcoin is a little more stable, not completely stable. ETH has lost a lot of dominance in the market, and the thing that's gaining the most dominance is people are going back into stable coins because they want to hold this value as the market keeps turning down. Same thing, you can look at the total crypto market. This is everything is trending down. Total 2 shows you guys what does it look like without Bitcoin. What is the market cap? We've lost almost, what is this, 0.6 trillion in the altcoins. We've lost with Bitcoin about a whole $1 trillion in this market, and everything without Bitcoin and Ethereum, all those altcoins besides those major 2 is still about 0.4 trillion off the highs. So everything looking a little bit bearish, but again, this is the time, I believe, that if you are a small investor like me, I'm putting in, my gaming budget, 50 to 100 bucks a month. I don't know how much you guys can afford, especially in those, countries where it's hard to get a job. I understand maybe you don't have anything to put in, but if you do have things to put in, I think this is a good time to dollar cost average. Now, if you're looking at this as the short term and you're like, should I buy more in Splinterlands? Should I buy more in Gods Unchained, Illuvium, all these things? Well, if you're thinking of flipping this in a week or 2, I would wait till we start seeing a little bit bullish momentum if you're thinking about the short term. If you're like, hey, I'm going to hold on to these assets for 3 to 5 years, which is my plan for a lot of these games, if that is your plan, then I think it starts making sense for dollar cost averaging, which means, hey, the market is down. Let's take Star Atlas for an example. The market is down. We come off, and in Star Atlas, we have essentially lowered the price by three times, right? What's the percentage? Let me find the ruler here. Off the highs, coming in now, we've lost 62% in Star Atlas. So because everything is trending down and we haven't seen any reversal signs that I can see, again, I'm not an expert in TA, but I don't see this as very bullish in any of these coins right now. So it definitely could go lower. But dollar cost averaging, the whole point of dollar cost averaging is get in when you can, when it's a good deal. Look, we almost hit the floor of this coin. That's pretty cheap. Could it go lower? Yes. So I'm going to buy a little bit here now if I want a more Star Atlas coin. If it goes lower, then I can buy up a little bit more. If it goes even lower, let's say it goes to 0.4 and it just completely tanks, then we buy up even more, and you just keep dollar cost averaging, trying to bring your entry price. Every time you buy lower than you started with, you're bringing your entry price lower and lower and lower. That's the whole point of dollar cost averaging. So that's kind of my thinking right now with a lot of these gaming tokens, whatever you're interested in. Splinterlands, Hive, we got the 2 Star Atlas tokens I can see on TradingView. Gods Unchained has really fallen down, finding a new almost floor around $3 here. So that's, if you want more Gods token, this would be a good chance to dollar cost average. YGG Guild. We got Illuvium. Illuvium, I looked at this project and I didn't have Binance at the time. I didn't have any opportunity to buy it. And I was sitting here in October and like, man, I want to buy it, but I just don't have this opportunity because there was no funds that I had available. And I didn't want to use Uniswap because I would have to pay, what was it, like, hundreds of dollars of ETH and gas fees when I was trying to, maybe buy 50 bucks of Illuvium, right? And this token exploded and we were thinking, oh man, this thing is gone. We lost our opportunity to buy into Illuvium if you guys like this project. And I was thinking that back in October, like, oh man, now it's November, it's over $1,000. I missed my 2x here. It came up to almost $2,000 here. And I was like, oh man, I could have gotten a 3x out of here. And all of a sudden now, if we're just patient, if we just take some time, this is what I mean by a play to earn market crash. We're going to be able to find prices that we were 3 months ago. If it keeps downtrending, we might be able to find prices that were never seen before on these coins. So these are just examples. I'm not saying that you have to buy into these projects. A lot of these projects I'm not really bought into. I'm just kind of tracking. But Sandbox, this one is still pretty high from where it used to be. But again, downtrending. Cetify, same thing. Phantasma or the Soul token, that one's still pretty strong. But we essentially had a double top and we couldn't hold those new highs. So I would be surprised if this coin keeps rallying, but again, I'm not predicting things. You never know. Let's say you want to get into wax games. This is the cheapest wax has been since, oh boy, since it came on and listed on Binance. So essentially since, well, I guess it came back down, but we haven't seen these prices since October 30th. So if you're looking to get into wax projects, that could be a good time. Engine, same thing. BNB, same thing. All of these tokens are starting to fall. What is the bottom going to be? It's impossible to say, but this is why I like to dollar cost average, because then you don't have to guess about the bottom. You just keep buying into it and trying to lower your entry price. So again, I'll take questions in here. I got about 15 more minutes of stuff to say, but I do want to jump into Splinterlands. I know a lot of you guys watch my channel specifically for Splinterlands, even though I'm branching out just slightly, but a lot of people are interested in Splinterlands, and I've talked about this before. I said, hey, I'm pretty bullish on Splinterlands SPS long term. There's lots of supply to still come out, which makes people hesitant, but I did a video saying, hey, in April, no more private sale tokens. In July, no more airdrop tokens. That's going to put the monthly amount of supply less and less throughout the year. We're going to be using SPS to buy Rift Watchers, which is a chance for us as a governance. Maybe we say we want to just burn all that SPS and it's not going to be on the market anymore. Who knows what's going to happen? So the next couple months, I'm not bullish in the sense that SPS is going to make a climb up anytime soon. You can see we dropped the floor here. The old support used to be around that 22 cents, and we dropped it. You can see we dropped it even back here last week to 17 cents. We tried to make a small push above it, but once you break through support, what I've learned through TA and technical analysis is that it becomes resistance. So now every time we push up, we're gonna probably have resistance around this 22 cents unless something really bullish comes out, or the market turns around, or maybe Rift Watchers is enough reason for people to buy it up. But I'm happy, as I've said last week, I was happy to buy it at 20 cents. I'm now happy to buy it. It fell just under 16 cents and now it's hovering at 16 cents. I think that's a pretty good deal, even though SPS, I'm assuming if the bear market continues, we could see SPS at 12 cents, we could see SPS at 10 cents, maybe even 5 cents. I mean, who knows? If the supply keeps coming out like it is, and we keep heading in this bear market across the board with Bitcoin, Ethereum, the whole crypto market, then I definitely see an SPS world where it could be 10 cents, it could be 5 cents, especially if it doesn't get listed on a major exchange soon. So, am I happy to buy it up at 15 and 16 cents if I can? Heck yeah. If it comes down to 10 cents, again, I'm going to dollar cost average more into it. And that's because I have a long-term sight for Splinterlands. I think it's one of those games, I think it's one of those companies that even if we hit another crypto winter somehow, that it could actually survive 3 to 5 years. They even asked that in the AMA, and someone said, I think it was Aggro who said, hey, we've been through crypto winter before. We started this game in 2017, and we essentially have enough funds that we could even just run for 2 to 3 years based on what we have now without making any more money. Plus, they probably are going to have more money coming in once these, Rift Watchers come out and other cards. Well, I guess Rift Watchers, all the SPS is going into Foundation, so I guess the company isn't making any money. But you can see, my belief is that this game could last 3 to 5 years. Will it? Again, who knows? We're going for 70% predictions. A feeling of 70% it could happen, 30% we could be screwed. This game ends in a couple months. Who knows? But I believe in SPS long term. So my hope is that SPS one day we could see it above $1. We could see it at $2. And I don't care if I buy it up here at 20 cents, 15 cents, 10 cents, or 5 cents. Because I'm shooting for, 3 to 5 years, maybe we hit the $2 mark, something crazy like that. And to me, if I dollar cost averaged in, and my average cost was 20 cents, and SPS hits $2, well, guess what? As a small time investor, I just 10x my money in SPS, which is pretty dang awesome. If I build up my SPS by, blogging on Peaked and Splinter Talk, if I play this game, get the airdrop, get the play to earn, let's say I hold 10,000 tokens and it hits $2, well, then I just hit $20,000 as a little tiny krill. That upgrades me from a krill to a minnow in 3 to 5 years. Not a whale, but at least a minnow. And so that's pretty good money. So SPS chart, not looking great, but again, a good time, I would say, for dollar cost averaging. But I'll love to hear your guys' thoughts once I get to the chat. Maybe you all disagree with me. Maybe you're all saying, Luke, that's stupid. All right, let's see if DEC will load. Here we go. We've talked about DEC. DEC is not something you want to be holding onto unless you're just doing it for the SPS airdrop, because again, the peg is supposed to be all the way back here, the soft peg at 0.001. So we're still even from 0.001, 3.5x above that. So DEC, the chart, I would say even looks worse than SPS. If you're holding DEC for the SPS airdrop, I'm still holding some, but rather than buying up more, I'm mostly just buying straight up SPS because I think DEC could potentially be even in more trouble than SPS. We'll see, no one knows for sure. But we're essentially holding that support from way back here in August 4th. We're stalling around here at the 0.0035 cents for DEC. But you can see it's just been an ugly dump off all the way back from, even November. Even at the end of November, we were still above that 0.01. Those were some good times. And since breaking the 0.01 here, we've just shot down pretty dang hard. And, it's just such an inflationary token with especially that peg of 0.01. This is not something I want to be holding, but maybe you can make an argument if you want to buy some up to put in a liquidity pool with SPS to get more SPS airdrop. We still have, almost 190 days of SPS airdrop. So it's not the worst idea. I just think it could go even, lower. I think we're finding some support where we did back here, and we're posting smaller candlesticks, which means it's kind of slowing down in the downtrend. But I don't see it reversing. A lot of people are asking, like, when do you think the DEC price will go back up so we can start earning more again? And I just have a feeling that it's not going to be anytime soon. Really, what Splinterlands has said with DEC is they're not going to put any more utility into it until the airdrop is done, because DEC is so valuable for airdrop points already. They don't feel like they need to put more utility in it, which if we're seeing this utility and people still don't want to be buying it at these prices, not a great sign for the future of DEC, at least in the short term. But again, it's not just Splinterlands. It's pretty much all crypto games, all NFT play to earn games right now. It's just a bloody market. You can look here on Coinbase. Sorry, my dog's trying to get in. You can look at here at CoinGecko, not Coinbase, and you can see all these top gaming coins. Whatever it is, Sandbox, Axie, Gala. It doesn't really matter. All of these for the last 7 days are in the red. A lot of them are 20 to 30% down. So that's what I'm saying when I'm dollar cost averaging in on these tokens, that if I wanted them and I have some available funds, which I'm not talking about much, but if I have a little bit of funds, then a 20 to 35% discount on some of these big name tokens, I feel like is a good time to start dollar cost averaging in, even if it goes lower. So definitely blood in the market here. Let's see. Is there any coins? There's not that many coins. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coins that actually made anything. We got Karabata, which I covered last week, Nifty League. But other than that, there's a couple other coins that have been just holding above or gaining just more value. Everything else is just completely down, which makes me think that a lot of these coins that are pumping, they're small caps, and at some point I would assume they're going to come back down as well. Of course, who knows for sure, but I'd be very careful essentially investing in these really small cap games. Some of these games that are only, their token has 50 or $10 million of value. It's pretty volatile, and so it's kind of scary. You can lose a lot of money doing that. If you are going to invest in those games, I would recommend a little, or if you make a profit, flip it while you can, and then maybe put it into these other games that have more potential, like an Axie, like a Splinterlands, like those Wax games, the Sandbox, that even though they're going to potentially continue to go down, they might have a bounce back up once the market turns around. Some of these games, as I said in my video on Sunday, with low amounts of money into the game, I'm concerned that a lot of them won't make it if we do hit a long extended bear market. So just be really careful. I'm not saying don't put money in right now. Some people responded to that video by saying, hey, the best time to buy is when there's fear in the market. And that's true, because you can find cheaper prices. But I guess my point is, be careful, be more cautious, realize that things could even get worse from here. And if you're buying, it's to dollar cost average. It's not to flip a profit quick right away. That is, I guess, my strategy. That's what I'm saying. And I want you guys to be careful, especially if you're a krill or a minnow and you throw away a lot of your investment. You're going to be hurting rather than putting it into safer games like Splinterlands, like Axie, all those things that have a little more backing to it. If you put your money in that, you might not see a good return right away. You're not going to get rich right away, but at least you're not potentially throwing away all that money and going from a krill to just completely broke and dead. I don't even know what's under krill. I guess if you're a krill that's dead, the whale just came over and ate you, okay? So don't be the krill that gets swallowed up by a whale and you're just out of the game. Be careful right now in any gaming play to earn market right now. So that's what I want to say about that. Last 5 minutes here before I get to questions in the chat. Let's just talk about Splinterlands for a moment. We got the general sale coming up here soon. The second phase, I think, is about done. Let's just double check on it. I think it's 2 days left for this second round. You can still buy packs with vouchers, or you can just wait for the general sale to buy them for $4, and you can only need to use vouchers for the bonus packs. So right now, the really interesting thing is you can use Splinter Cards tool to look at the pack value. So this is what the estimated Chaos Legion pack, if you open it and you use both potions right now, again, always use both potions. There's no reason not to. And then here's the basic pack. If you just get what's going to happen to you on average, 4 commons and 1 rare, no gold foils, it's only worth $1.60 on the market. Now, the more packs you open, the more legendaries and golds you get, bringing your estimated pack value up to $5.33. Now, this is actually up a little bit from last week. I want to say last week it was at even $4.70. I think a basic pack was worth like $1.18, something around there. I don't remember the exact numbers. So you might be thinking, is this the Splinterlands market actually turning around? You know, we can look here. There are some of the reward cards that are lower, 4 cents. I even saw some at 3 cents the other day. But there's other things that are going up in price again. So we got, let's see if we can look at Ascending here on Peak Monsters. Kellia's up over $5. Obsidian, I saw just a little bit ago, up over $6. Tarsa fell a little bit. Thaddeus increased, I think, after the Chaos Legion showdown by ZenSports, because a lot of people are using Thaddeus pretty well. So Thaddeus value went up a little bit. General Sloan still really down. But the overall value of these packs are going up a little bit here. I think Quicks is now above $32. And I think last week it was around down $28. So, is this the time to start panicking? Is this the time to say, oh, we missed the bottom, let's start buying now. Let's jump into this and buy cards, buy our summoners now, because we already saw the bottom. These packs are starting to turn around and we don't want to miss our opportunity. Now, as I said before, I'm already dollar cost averaging in, buying monsters and summoners I want, but I still think, again, this is not guaranteed, but I still think like 90% of me is pretty confident that we're actually going to see this price go back down once the general sale hits. I think why we're starting to see a turn of the market is because the the second phase of the pre-sale is about to end before the general sale. So I think in the second phase, a lot of people are buying packs, selling them, taking that money to buy up more packs so they can get more and more airdrop points. We saw Bulldog do that. We saw a lot of other big YouTubers talk about this, or people on Splinter Talk say, hey, let's just buy packs, sell them, buy more packs, and get as many airdrop points as we can. I think now that we only have 2 days left, we're not getting any more vouchers dropped. You can only buy vouchers on secondary market. I think we're seeing less of this. So I don't think it's actually the fact that these cards are starting to go up in price and value. I think what's happening is there's less supply on the market, less people opening up packs and dumping them on the market. And once the general sale hits, we don't know. A lot of people are predicting this thing is going to sell out even in a couple weeks. I'm not that confident. I think that we could see maybe a couple million that first day. But even then, if it's just, let's say, first day, 3 million packs are bought and we get up to 5 million packs, then inevitably we are over doubling the supply out on the market. So I just can't see a world with the crypto market trailing down, with at least 2 times the supply coming out probably day one of the general sale. I don't see how these prices of these packs actually continue up. So if I see a good deal, like let's say I know I want to level up Kelia, right? When I see Kelia, I've seen a couple at like 450. I don't think that's a bad deal. Am I buying it at 550? No, but I could see a world where something like Kelia, where I want to level up to level 3, is $3. I don't know, but at 450, I think that's a good deal. I'm just saying, I think once the general sale hits, we could see even better deals. That's why I'm essentially dollar cost averaging even into Splinterlands and buying up cards where I can that I feel like they're a good deal. And if they go lower, that's fine. I'll keep buying them when I can. So that's my strategy. Again, my strategy is I want to find 3 summoners that I can get to level 3 so that I can start competing in silver and even in low gold. And also, you can get some monsters that are pretty cheap. So that's the other thing that I'm doing, is I'm starting to look at even these reward cards, which I already have some. You can click on these cards and see if I could get the summoner that would actually allow me to use them. At what point would this card be that much better? So for example, I can click on Venari Seedsmith, super cheap right now. I can go to the bulk button. I can see the stats. Hey, at level 4, I know that he's gonna get 3 ranged attack. The extra attack is a breakpoint to me. Having extra attack, an extra speed, or an extra ability, to me is really important. And so I can get a level 4 Venari Seedsmith. I might already have enough to get a level 4 anyways, for $4 right now. Or I can get level 5 for $6.90 and get poison. Again, I'd have to have a summoner that would allow me to use a level 5. But there's a lot of cheap cards. Even in not the reward cards, just look at Chaos Legion. Let's look at the Scavo Firebolt. If I wanted to buy a card that has 3 range attack now instead of the 2, that's going to help me win in silver and in low gold. All I need for this card right now for level 4 is $7 on Peak Monsters. So what I'm saying is there's pretty good deals already out there. That's why I'm excited for the general sale, not to buy a bunch of packs. I'm probably only buying 20 packs. But more what I'm excited for is for some of these prices to hopefully keep going down so that I can even buy more leveled up summoners and more leveled up monsters. So that's my idea. The other part of this is you can look at gold cards. Gold cards at one point, I think a couple days ago, were under $1. And so we might see this happen more and more, where you can start and go to compare. You can compare by best CP to cost ratio. And you can start seeing gold cards are around $1 for 100 CP to around 120 CP. You can see regular cards, some of them are up 125. Obviously less power per card, but still if you buy enough of them, you can get 125. So what does this mean? Well, if it's $1 for 120 CP, you're talking about $125 for getting into silver 3, having enough power. Now, for some people, I understand that's still a lot of money. But for others, that's $2, that's 2 video games worth, $60 each if you bought on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox, whatever. That's 2 months of video game budget for me to now go buy Silver Deck Power, which a couple months ago, it was $600 plus. Or if you want to get to Bronze 1, let's say, that's only $41. So the market is becoming pretty reasonable in Splinterlands, which is why I'm excited as a Krill, being able to invest much. I'm excited for this opportunity, and when the general sale hits, we might even find better deals. Not guaranteed, which is why I'm buying a little bit here, but I think we're gonna find better deals as well. So that's my thoughts so far for the play to earn market. We covered Bitcoin and Ethereum. We covered some of those other gaming tokens. We covered the Splinterlands market, what I foresee, I'm guessing happens in the next week or 2. So let me start going through the chat, and I will try to answer your questions as best I can. Questions on Splinterlands, that's definitely welcome. Questions on if you want me to look at another gaming token chart, I'm happy to. Again, I'm not the best at technical analysis, but I can try and give you an idea. Or if you just have specific questions about my Splinterlands strategy or other games I'm interested, feel free to throw in any questions into the chat. I'll finally take a breath there. I know I've been talking for quite a while, but again, I wanted to create a watchable replay for those that couldn't make it live. So sorry if I felt like I was ignoring the chat, but we got about 20 minutes for questions. I'll try to scroll through, see if I find any good questions. Let's see. OC said, manage the dips in your stablecoin pools. Yeah, everything is dropping. The safest thing you can do is put them in stablecoins. Let me just show you real quick. I did a video showing you guys you can put some of your DEC into credits or SPS. You can buy that, and that's essentially a stablecoin. But even if you don't want a stablecoin within Splinterlands, because credits, you're going to only be able to use that to buy up essentially cards or packs, right? But let's say you wanted to convert some of your DEC or SPS into an actual stablecoin on the Hive engine. You can send them to your Hive wallet by selecting Hive wallet, put in an amount of DEC or SPS, and then all you do is you can go look on tribal decks for tokens. You can see they have an LTC peg, they have an Ethereum peg, which just follows the price of what BTC or Ethereum is. There's a wax peg. I think there's a Bitcoin peg. Yep. And then there is even a stable coin, I believe. Oops. I think there's a USDT one, I thought. Maybe am I blind here? Let me just try to go to pools. Yeah, USDT. So they have a swap USDT, which is essentially just a peg. So let's say you wanted to put some DEC into it. You might have to convert it to Hive first, because yeah, there's no way that's worth $13. So it shows you how much I've used this. Let's try this. Swap it to Hive, and then we can swap it to USDT, I believe. So that's a good idea there. What about Crypto City Metaverse games? I don't know about Crypto Cities. I'll have to check that out. Sounds like an interesting project. Favorite game besides SPL? I mean, I enjoy playing Thetan Arena, even though I don't like the tokenomics of the game. I just like playing it for free. Investing, I have some in Star Atlas, so I can essentially stake it in Radium Swap and earn more Atlas tokens and Polis tokens. I like Gods Unchained, but I like Splinterlands better. Alluvium looks fun, but again, it's one of those big time projects like Star Atlas where it's like, I don't know, does it actually make it to its goal? It's a pretty ambitious project. So, yeah, you know, it's hard to say for sure. There aren't a ton of games that I'm super, you know, excited about, if I'm being honest. Okay, there we go. We can do swap Hive to our USDT and just hold that as essentially a stable coin. I don't know how dependable the Hive stable coins are. I won't comment on them because I haven't done a ton of research, but I haven't heard anyone complain about them quite yet. All right. You just bought 1K more SPS. Let's go. Dang, dude. Let's see. Any other questions come in? So vouchers keep dropping after the general sale starts if you have SPS staked. Yes. I believe it's a third of the amount. I'm trying to remember now. It's a lot less amount than you're getting now for your voucher drop rate. Oh, okay. Here we go. I think this is updated actually. So 20,000 a day, it's going to be starting to drop in the next 6 days. Essentially, vouchers are just going to be used to buy bonus packs. So, you know, if you wanted to buy 100 packs, you would need 10 vouchers to get the 10 bonus packs is what they're going to be doing. So they're going to send a lot less vouchers out, but a lot less vouchers are going to be needed because you won't need them for each pack, only if you're buying bonus packs, which probably not a lot of us as small investors are going to be able to buy 100 packs plus. Let's see, other questions. This could be one of the last time all game and token dip with Bitcoin at the same point they will separate. Yeah, shopping coin, they definitely could. We've seen individual coins separate themselves from Bitcoin, but I think we still have a lot of work to really, in the crypto market, for Bitcoin to be spread out and not affect everything else. Ethereum is, I think, the other one you could say maybe has a market enough of its own to start differentiating a little bit with Bitcoin. But honestly, what happens with Bitcoin, I think still mostly not everywhere, but mostly happens to the rest of the market. At some point, I don't know. I still have a feeling we're probably maybe a year, 2, 3 years away from that shopping channel. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. For the $11 to $1,000, you should try renting Onyx Sentinel and Kobold Miner. I'm almost in silver renting only those 2 cards. All right, Roki. I will try that. That sounds awesome. Is there any fee buying credits with DEC in the game? There is not. How are you feeling about the crash of DEC rewards? By the way, hi Harry, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let me open up the chat so I can actually see it a little bit better. Okay, how are you feeling about the crash of DEC rewards in each season after about 6 to 8 days, with the rewards as low as 2 DEC, even at Silver 3? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bummer for sure. It's one of those things where, you know, DEC with the price going back down, the DEC rewards themselves are not great, which kind of begs the question of, well, should they actually move the SPS play to earn rewards up sooner? I think they said they're not going to do it till after the airdrop in July. But if DEC price goes all the way back down, card prices are going to continue to go down. DEC value per win is going down. So yeah, it's definitely a bummer. But I still enjoy the game enough. See, that's the thing. If you really enjoy the game, while it sucks to get less and less rewards, then you can still push through. You can play it. And because I like playing it, I like streaming it, I like doing these tournaments, I think, to me, even though it sucks that we're earning less DEC per win, it's still fun for me. I still enjoy it. So that's why I think this is a good time, if you enjoy the game, to buy into the game and slowly work your way up. This is not the great time to earn a bunch. This is the great time to accumulate assets if you weren't able to do that 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, I definitely feel the pain that you're talking about, Harry, but for me, I enjoy the game enough. If you prefer Gods Unchained, I think it makes sense to go play Gods Unchained. I do like Gods Unchained, but coming back to Gods Unchained after playing Splinterlands, I actually find Gods Unchained, personally, more boring in my opinion, because it feels like a lot more, I don't know, Gods Unchained to me feels a little bit RNG, or like I build up my deck. If I got the right card in the right time, I win the game. If I don't, then I'm often screwed and I lose the game. That's not totally true, but that's sometimes how I feel about the game. Where Splinterlands, even though it's an auto battler, and so there's definitely RNG, I feel like the different rule sets, the different mana caps, engages my mind a little bit more and is quicker matches, which is what I like. So if you prefer Gods Unchained, I understand why I'd be playing Gods Unchained right now. Although the token of Gods Unchained price is not looking great either. So I don't know how great those rewards are going to be. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, I've earned a couple $100 playing Gods Unchained, which is awesome. I missed out on that opportunity. But again, if it's in God's token and the God's token keeps going down, well, you know, how much are we going to be earning in Gods Unchained? I don't know. Which is your most liked game which isn't crypto or NFT linked? I used to play a lot of League of Legends with my friends, and that would probably be my biggest game. Recently, I've been playing my Switch again with my wife. I used to play Splatoon 2, and that was really fun. I don't anymore, but I'm playing a little bit of Borderlands and Breath of the Wild with her. She's actually beating Breath of the Wild by herself now, which last time she made me beat all the hard monsters. So check out Playermon, okay? I will put that on the list for other games to check out. What pool do I put my DEC into? Most of my pool DEC is just on tribal decks. Once you get SPS and DEC into your Hive wallet, it's super easy. You just go to the DEC SPS pool, and then you put as much as you want in there, as long as you have DEC and SPS in your wallet. I have a little bit on the Binance Smart Chain Pancake Swap pool, but to me, there's more fees and stuff around it. It's super easy to do it on tribal decks on the Hive. Is staking the Star Atlas a good payout like SOS? So technically, I'm not staking my Atlas tokens. What I'm doing is I'm using Radium Swap. And again, I don't really know much about Star Atlas. I just bought a little bit a long time ago. So I don't even know what is happening in the project, to be honest. But what I am doing is I have it in Radium Swap, which you essentially need half your tokens in Radium is the only problem. and then half your tokens in Star Atlas. So even though I bought like $100 worth of, I think, of Atlas at one point, or Polis, I had to put 50 of that into Radium. But the nice thing is I can come up here to my farms, and all these tokens I'm earning 100% or 85% APR. I think this is like I'm getting 7 or 8 free Atlas tokens each week. Maybe more than that. I can't remember the last time I claimed it. So that's what I'm doing in my Atlas and Polis tokens, my goodness. Atlas and Polis tokens, rather. Because these are decent APRs and I like the Radium, so I'm not opposed to holding Radium as well. But that's just simply what I'm doing. That's just my strategy. Lots of permanent loss though with DEC. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely, you got to be careful with the liquidity pools, but really a lot of the times both tokens are going to go down or both tokens are going to go up. So at least in the crypto space, it's not, to me, it's not insanely risky, but there is definitely some risk. Good time to put SPS DC into a liquidity pool. So if you're not happy with your airdrops with SPS, this is definitely a way. Is what you can do is take some of your earned DEC and then take some of the SPS you're already claiming and then just pool those together. That's what I did until I was happy with my airdrop points. Now the thing is, why this is an issue is, one, DEC price could still go down, although SPS price could also still go down, so the impermanent loss probably won't happen if both go down at the same rate. However, the other thing that I'm starting to be concerned by is, one, we're almost halfway through the airdrop, so you're going to get less value out of doing it now than if you did it 3 months ago. Still a decent amount. The other thing I'm worried about though is, even though my airdrop points are going up, my SPS that I'm claiming isn't really going up. And the reason is the total airdrop system points has been increasing like crazy with Chaos Legion coming out. It used to be 8 billion, I think, a couple months ago, the airdrop points that were in the system. So, you know, having 50,000 air points, that percentage of that compared to 8 billion was a lot better than now that it's at 10 billion and 700 million. And once the general sale hits, we have 13 million packs still left to sell, each with 300 airdrop points. So let's look at this. I'm trying to remember here. 13 million times 300. We still have another almost 4 billion airdrop points to be added. So it depends on how many packs sell right away, but that's going to change. It's going to change the amount of airdrop points that is relevant and matters. So you could be buying up a bunch of DEC and getting more airdrop points, and then once the general sale hits, you're still going to get that SPS airdropped, but you're going to be getting less than you potentially would have right now in this moment. And each essentially week that Chaos Legion goes by, the total airdrop points is going to go higher, meaning your return is going to be a little bit lower. So I believe Peak Monsters, haven't done this for a while, but you can go to the SPS airdrop and you can see, yeah, the staking APR is 30.9%. So holding DEC from the SPS airdrop right now is at a 92% APR. So you're getting 3 times more APR still from holding DEC for the SPS airdrop versus if you just take your SPS and stake it. So you're still earning more, and that way it's still worth it. But are you okay with the DEC price going down even further and holding on to all that DEC? That's the risk, really. Let's see, did I miss any other questions? DEC holding phase is over. All that DEC buying pressure was used to get more SPS and save for Chaos Legion packs. That's probably true. When you get DEC, one way to put it into a pool is split half in a liquidity pool and the other half to buy assets or SPS. Yeah, it is an option. So it's not terrible. You can still get a good amount of SPS in this airdrop. We still have about half a year, a little more than half a year. So there's still lots of airdrop to go. If you're focused on SPS, like I still want more SPS. My eventual whole goal is to get 10,000 over the next couple of years, then, you know, it's a good time to do that. But again, you could also just go out and buy SPS for 16 cents right now. So SPS is just cheap in general. I got into Bronze 2 from renting. I ended up with 0.5 DEC negative, but I don't mind. It gives me practice. All right, well, that's true. Hopefully I can get more and more of this $11 to $1,000 series going so that I can help even more. If I had $1,000 to spend in the game, what would I do as an investor? Well, that's an interesting question because I think investor is different than player, right? As an investor, I would be buying up a lot of SPS because I think in 3 to 5 years, it could have a long-term hold value where these cards will have long-term hold value, but I also question, you know, we talk about how cards are deflationary because you have to combine cards to level them up. That is true for each individual card. But for the whole card supply, the card supply in general is going to have more cards come out each and every year. They're going to have mini card pack series, and then each year they're going to do an Untamed series. They're going to do a Chaos Legion series. Next year we don't know what it is, but the whole supply of cards is still increasing. Even though each individual card is deflationary, cards in general aren't deflationary in my opinion. So I don't know, I'd be buying up SPS. As a player, I would be focusing on buying 3 strong decks for low gold, buying up enough power for maybe you can even get away with silver 2 or 1 with your $1,000 to buy a high level deck, or not a high level deck, like I'm talking about a summoner that's like level 3. That would probably leave you with enough money to get like 40,000 power. That's probably what I'd be doing as a player investor. I would not actually be buying up packs. That wouldn't be my strategy. I'd rather buy the cards I want to buy. Hopefully get them cheap once the general sale hits, that all the market goes down from there even further, and it'll be even better time to buy up. So right now, I would be kind of sitting and waiting on the sidelines for the next week or two, waiting for the general sale. Maybe I'd be buying up some SPS at this price, wait for it to go down, buy up a little more SPS and dollar cost average in. Great day in Bali. Well, welcome from Bali. Do I have a Discord or something? Right now, my Discord is private for members only. You can join the membership through Donor Box. Next month, it'll be open up to the public. People usually don't click on giveaway and links anyways, unless you are more relational. People are, I think, kind of tired of being spammed by links, so you have to be a little bit careful. Baffling that way more money is in the Hive DEC pool over the SPS DEC pool. Well, I guess that's another option. I think the Hive token does have some things going for it that SPS doesn't, so it is another option if you like holding Hive more than SPS. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, no problem, Silver. What are ways using the 1UP coin on the blockchain? Which one's the 1UP coin? I mean, I have the 1UP zone, right? Is that what you're talking about? Or what's the 1UP blogging sites token? Which one is the 1UP blockchain? I don't remember if I've fully looked into it or not. I only hold a small amount of DEC for renting them. The rest buy the cards, which is cheap right now. Yep. It is pretty dang cheap right now. You're not talking about this, the 1UP blogging token, are you? For that, I'm just converting to SPS when I do that. Summoner Bright and Bloom is $11. What it did used to me, I bought one for flying matches. Yeah. Ultimate Gaming's here. Everyone go say hi to Ultimate Gaming. Well, welcome another great streamer, video content creator as well. You should guys check out his channel. Yeah, Bright and Bloom is it really $11? Because at one point I want to say it was 20 or 30 almost. I don't know if Bright and Bloom is the one I would be going for. I would just rent Bright and Bloom. I think if you're not going to level up summoners, then might as well rent them. Except for legendary, like legendaries. That's why I like Quicks, is automatically at level 1 legendary summoners. You can get level 3 commons, 2 rares, 2 epics, and 1 legendaries. Yes, that was your question. I don't know what else you can do with the 1UP token. Honestly, when I blog on 1UP and I get tokens, I usually swap it to Hive, and then I swap my Hive for whatever I want, SPS or whatever. I think there's ways that you can use your 1UP token, stake it, and probably vote on other people's blogs and stuff. But I can't say I know all the other uses of it. I need to do a little more looking in it. Alright, we got about 3 more questions. I'm going to cut this stream off right before the hour mark, just so that as a replay it's still watchable. Is Splinterlands still dying? Definitely means what you mean by dying. I don't think it's dying. I think it's in a downtrend like all crypto, like all play-to-earn games. Is it dying? Dying would mean that there are no players. There's still players. There's still activity. People are still buying a bunch of Chaos Legion packs. In the pre-sale alone, they've almost sold 2 million packs. And, you know, probably once the general sale hits, I see it's at least selling off a couple million right away. So to me, that's not dying. To me, prices are down. DEC and SPS is down, but that's price. That's not dying. That's a downtrend in the market. So I guess it depends on what your definition of dying is. If it's dying because prices are lower, then yeah, it's still dying. Yeah, no, I think new players are stalling out for sure. I talked about that in my video on Sunday about the play-to-earn market crash potential. That's something that I'm very nervous about, is that we're not just Splinterlands, but really in all play-to-earn games in general, I don't think we're increasing the user base. And I think that's scary for what's ahead. We need to do a better job educating and getting people into these games. I feel like a lot of games that have had user base growth is just people leaving things like Axie, Splinterlands, all these other games, and just jumping from game to game. I don't feel like as a whole, the market, we've done a good job about increasing players across the board. Why does Splinterlands have many tokens? DEC, SPS? Well, I like games with 2 tokens. One for the play-to-earn aspect and one for the governance, which SPS is more towards the governance, even though eventually it'll be play-to-earn as well. So DEC, I think, is more just that kind of quick inflationary token that's always going to be there. SPS has a limited amount for governance and things like that. And then the voucher is a system they are using for rewarding those who are staking their SPS. So you might say it's kind of goofy. I don't know. I don't know if they needed the voucher system, but it's one way that they've tried to reward SPS people and, you know, reward people for staking it. Sadly, my friends laugh and joke about NFT and crypto. Yeah, well, not everyone's going to get it. What's a good CP to DC ratio for renting summoners? Summoners, it doesn't matter. It's only when you're renting card power that you really need to worry about the CP to DEC ratio. I don't really worry about it for summoners. But that's going to end today's stream for me. Thank you guys for joining along as we recap the market. If you're watching this as a replay, let me know what you guys think. What games are you excited about? Where are you excited or fearful in the market right now? What is your strategy? Are you dollar cost averaging into some things, or are you just staying far away? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them as well. Thanks for joining me today. I'm heading out, so peace out, pa'alam, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Have a great day.